What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So this one's going to be a pretty special one because the M16 auto attachment Wildfire has finally been released to everyone. And it's very special because from what I understand, this should be the very first ever M16 to ever have the capability in multiplayer to be a full auto assault rifle. Typically in every COD game, anytime the M16 has been available to use, it's always been a 3-round burst. No matter who the developer was, whether it be Treyarch or Infinity Ward, the M16 has always been a 3-round burst. So this is kind of, I guess, like an experimental thing because, again, I mean, having a full auto M16 was something that I've always wanted for this game, but I didn't really think it was ever gonna happen until now. And now this opens up a lot of possibilities. Will we ever get a burst perk for the FR556? Or will we get a auto perk like Wildfire for the Shecom, or, you know, shit like that for burst weapons? So now let's actually talk about how you unlock this gun perk for the M16. So there are sets of seasonal challenges, as always, whenever it comes to signature attachments. And for the M16, there's really no exception. You just have to play on multiplayer. It's really easy with the set of challenges that they have. Just win like a few matches, use the Ballista EM3 like just once, get like 10 hipfire kills with assault rifles, and so on. But of course, if you're somehow that lazy, you could always pick up the M16 legendary skin that's coming on Thursday alongside the Mythic Spectre skin. So yeah, that's another video I need to make, by the way. But yeah, if you're really that lazy though, I mean, it's not really that hard to get the M16 auto attachment. You could be the shittiest player on the face of the universe and still unlock this attachment. It's impossible not to. So my first impression on the full auto perk, obviously it's a nice change of pace, especially for the M16 that's been mistreated for a very long time up until last season where it got a significant buff. And now, even without the full auto perk, it's probably one of the best assault rifles I've used so far in this game's history. And in a recent update, they also increased the, well, I guess they reduced the burst delay, making the burst faster. So if you're a person that just likes using the burst, I mean, there's a plus for you. But when it comes to the full auto attachment, I mean, nothing really feels like it doesn't really feel like it changed too much, especially when it comes to its damage multipliers, because one of the downsides of using this perk is the fact that they do state that they reduce some of the multipliers, but I think they only reduced it for maybe the legs and the arms. But even then, it's still very easy to land a 3-shot kill, especially for a weapon that has this high of a fire rate. Keep in mind, in the mini update, they also did state that the accuracy and the hipfire accuracy was going to be lower if you do use the auto perk. And I think that's actually the right thing to do because it would have been a little bit too overpowered. And even now, without that benefit, it's still on the verge of being overpowered. I do suggest in the future, I think this is going to be a little bit too toxic, and keep in mind, this is a hit scan weapon, so comparing it to the Crick 6, yeah, this thing's going to be far more deadlier. And the range doesn't really cut off that much. You could still 4-shot from way past like 20 or 25 meters from what I've seen. And this is like without using a monolithic suppressor or any sort of range extending attachments. It's extremely good with range. So yeah, I could see this actually beating the Crick 6 in its current state. And when it comes to the recoil, there's almost none at all. I mean, I've tried using the light barrel with like no stock and everything, and it still felt like a laser. Of course, the recoil is a little higher, but it's not really that crazy to the point where it's uncontrollable. So it really shouldn't be an issue controlling it at all. Of course, a lot of people are not just going to run that like just together. So if they want to kill at longer ranges, yeah, they're going to have to use something that's a little more, well, I guess they just don't have to use those attachments in order to kill from long range. But if you want to like really dominate short range, yeah, I do recommend using both no stock and the MIP light barrel, or even the integrated suppressor, since it does provide some ADS speed. So when it comes to its fire rate, like I said, it's pretty fast, especially for damage like this and stability as well. Like I said, I think they're gonna reduce the multipliers a little further because, again, they're kind of high for a weapon this fast. Obviously, with the fast fire rate, you are going to run through your ammo a little bit quicker. Keep in mind, like I said, if it's not the burst version, it's obviously going to be a little bit weaker. But, you know, when you're using burst and like a 48 round mag or even a 39 round mag, it's still like you don't really run out of ammo that easily. But in terms of everything else, like damage, recoil wise, like I said, they're very stable. It's very like deadly and everything. The range doesn't drop that much unless you want like some extra 3-shot capabilities. Yeah, I recommend using like maybe long shot or the monolithic suppressor to help you out. But really overall, I do just recommend using the integrated suppressor because like I said, there's not a lot of fall off range. I think that's mainly because they didn't bother to reduce the range when using the full auto. So it has more or less the same range as you would if you're just using it normally with the burst. So here's the class setup that I was able to come up with. This is like the best possible outcome that I could find, at least for myself. It's the YKM integrated suppressor light, like I said, wildfire, obviously. OWC laser tactical, as well as 48 round extended and the rubberized grip tape. So this class setup is kind of like a best of all worlds situation where you could have good range, you could have good speed, good stability, the ability to stay off the map, and so on. So yeah, this is like the perfect class setup that I could think of. Of course, there are different ways other than my own way where you could increase your range a little bit more if you want better 3-shot capability, but I don't really see that being as a necessary thing. I mean, like up to like, I don't even know how many meters, like to a pretty good amount, you're still going to be able to 3-shot. So overall, the auto perk is a pretty good thing to have, and it's a nice change of pace, like I said, for the M16. Of course, this is the first time ever, so I think we're kind of like in an experimental time with this thing, because of course it also kind of depends on what the public opinion is for this attachment. Maybe there's going to be some that say it's really overpowered and should be nerfed. I'm actually kind of one of those people. I love the M16, but I kind of feel like it has a lot of power with almost no downsides at all. So there is a chance that they could nerf it in the future. It probably won't be next season because it's still fresh, but I'm assuming it might be maybe in the next major update around season 1 or season 12, whatever they decide to call it. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD mobile content. I'll see you guys next time.